So lucky for you all, the last video cut off before I was totally finished because my phone ran out of storage, so now I had time to go get the stuff I hadn't gotten before. Hashtag really professional YouTuber. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here. And following on the heels of my nighttime skincare routine, I figure it was only logical that I should do a morning skincare routine. Or should I say earlier in the day skincare routine, because on this particular day, I didn't do it in the morning. It was actually early afternoon before I actually got ready, but that's a totally different story. So anyways, yes, I wanted to go through my morning skincare routine so you can see how different it is from my PM. There are fewer products because I don't want to take as long of a time because, well, up until a couple days ago, I was working a day job and I'm not a morning person and I'm not one of those people who wants to get up like 2 hours early to do this big long skincare and makeup routine. So I want something that's very simple, that's very to the point, that has products that are doing specific things for my skin, whether it be treatment or protection or things like that. And they all have a purpose. But yes, there are far fewer than in my nighttime skincare routine. So first up, obviously, is cleansing. I do have oily skin, and just so that you know where I'm coming from, I am 48 years old, so I do have signs of aging. Some of them are getting a little more advanced. I do have oilier skin, and I also have a mild case of rosacea, so I have to be concerned about irritation and inflammation. So all that being said, I start off obviously with cleansing because I put skincare on at night, and I do use products that have a heavier texture and also some oil. So I need to cleanse my skin. And in addition to all that, of course, my skin produces oil overnight. So I need to do a cleansing. I'm not one of those people who's going to do a waterless routine. That's just not going to work for me. So in the shower, what I have been using recently is the Pacifica Coconut Milk Cream to Foam Face Wash, which I really like, but I previous to this had tried the Pacifica Crystal Foam or something like that face wash. I'll put the information down below. And I really liked it, and I think I like it a little better than the coconut milk, so I think I'm gonna go back to that. But this one's really good. It's not too much. It doesn't strip my skin, so it doesn't make me feel like I've over cleansed, but I have been combining it with the Ordinary Squalane cleanser, which you would have seen in my Ordinary skincare haul. And I put these together partly because the Squalane cleanser is a little too emollient for my skin. Squalane is a moisturizing ingredient, and it's great if you have drier skin, probably, but for me with oily skin, it just didn't do enough. It didn't leave my skin feeling clean enough. It still felt like it was oily. I didn't want that. So what I've been doing is combining these. That's been really nice because I found that the coconut milk one, for some reason, this time around, it seemed like it's cleansing my skin just maybe a tiny bit too much. So putting the Squalane in there with it has helped. But I'd like both of these for different reasons. Squalane I won't purchase again because it's just not right for my skin type, and like I said, with the Pacifica one, I'm probably going to go back to that crystal one, but I do think this coconut milk one is nice. So if you do have oily skin, I think you might like the crystal face wash. For my nighttime routine, I use the Trader Joe's, which would be a little too much for daytime use for me, which is why I have a different cleanser for day. So I use these in the shower, and then when I get out, what I put on first as my outside of the shower skincare step is I use the Galactomyces alcohol-free toner, and this is from COSRX. You have heard about COSRX before. You would have seen this in my Tale of Two Toners video, and I will pop a link to that up here so that you can take a look at that if you're interested, because I alternated this Galactomyces toner with the Centella toner. I'm using this Galactomyces in the morning and the Centella one at night. Galactomyces is an ingredient that is a byproduct of the fermentation of sake, and it has skin beneficial properties. It is also included in some products from the Korean skincare brand SK2. Those products are way more expensive than the ones from COSRX, which is why I wanted to try this particular product. It has been fine. I probably won't purchase it again. I think I will just stick with the Centella one when I'm out of this. I haven't seen a huge difference in my skin using this. But flip side, I've not noticed any irritation or any ill effects from this product. So I just spray this all over my skin and then kind of pat it in and give it maybe a few seconds to sink in. And then What I use after that is the Paula's Choice Calm 1% BHA Lotion Exfoliant. I use this because I have that mild case of rosacea. BHA is also known as salicylic acid, and it is known for having skin calming properties. So it's great if you have inflammation or irritation on your skin. So I just use a small pump of this, I would say less than a pea-sized amount, and I put it over my nose and then the cheek area, which is where my redness tends to flare up. So I put that over that area, kind of pat it in, and let it sink in for a few seconds. And then once that has happened, I have been trying a product which is also from COSRX. So I got several different products from COSRX through HauteLook. HauteLook is connected to Nordstrom and Nordstrom Rack. It's a flash sale site, and you get an email every day that will tell you which things are on sale. And they'll typically offer a certain category of products or things from certain companies or brands for several days at typically significant discounts. And they had COSRX on a few months ago, so I bought several products. And in that group of products, I bought the Ultimate Nourishing Rice Overnight Spa Mask. Now, I've not used this as an overnight mask, and I should probably try it that way just to see what happens. But what I tried doing with it was putting just a small amount, maybe around a pea-sized amount, on one of my fingers, and then rub it in, and then just kind of mostly put it around the perimeter of my face and just sort of patting it in. It's supposed to have calming properties. This is supposed to be a product that will help calm your skin if you have irritated skin. And since I do have some problems with irritation, I thought I would try it as a daytime thing. And so far I've liked it. Again, it hasn't caused any ill effects. Will I purchase this again? Not really sure yet, but I really do want to try it as an overnight mask just to see what happens with that. And I'll see, maybe I'll want to keep using it. But right now, you know, I haven't noticed anything negative, but I haven't noticed any huge difference in my skin. And then, as far as using something on the face itself, the last thing I do in the bathroom before I head to the next step is use the Ordinary's Caffeine Solution 5% plus ECG, is it ECG? Or EGCG. EGCG, that's really small writing, and I'm 48 years old, so it's hard to see. But this is for under the eyes. It's typically used to help to reduce dark circles. And I have been using it like that for several months. Have I noticed a huge difference in the dark circles? Not really, but then there have been other things going on in my life that could have been exacerbating those dark circles. So we'll see. I'm going to continue to use it because I haven't noticed no ill effects from it. I haven't had any bad reaction to it. I haven't shown any sensitivity to it. So I want to keep using it. And so, yeah, I'll keep trying it and see how it goes. The Ordinary products, if you watched my Ordinary video, which I will pop up here in a card, they are really affordable. So they're a great way to try some of these items that you may have seen from other companies that could be more expensive. Caffeine is used a lot in under eye creams because of its effect on things like dark circles, so it's a good thing to try. This is not the most cosmetically elegant version of caffeine. It's a little bit sticky, but I haven't noticed any huge issue with it, but just keep that in mind in case that is an issue for you. And finally, the last thing that I use before I leave the bathroom is I use the Trader Joe's Enrich Moisturizing Face Lotion Broad Spectrum SPF 15. I don't use this on my face. I use this on like underneath the chin and then down onto the neck and décolleté because you want to protect this area of your skin. It does show age, obviously, and we often forget to protect it, and I have forgotten to protect that area for quite a few years, and I can see the effects of that. So I try to use this every day that I'm going to be going out into it, even if it's not particularly sunny, because even when the sun is not out, the sun is still, the rays are still getting to you. So just remember that. Just because it's cloudy, like it's cloudy outside today, I would still use this if I was going outside, because I want to protect that area. This is a great product because it's a very simple product. It is only SPF 15, so if I was going to be out for a longer period of time, I would definitely want to use something with a higher SPF. But just for added protection as I'm going from like the house to the car and then the car to like my workplace and then back again, this is perfectly fine. This is going to work just fine. So as far as what I do in the shower and then directly after the shower, that's pretty much it. I apologize if anything has changed. My position, the camera placement, anything like that, the lighting. I've been having issues with my phone today, so I had to stop a couple of times and deal with some things. here's hoping I can actually get through this last little bit. So I think we left off with where I finish in the bathroom. So I have the bulk of my skincare in the morning is done in the bathroom after I get out of the shower. Once I'm done with that, I have one more step that I go through, and that is that I put on some sort of facial SPF, but I usually do that at my makeup table. And what I had been using, what I've used for several years now, is the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. This is SPF 30, and it also has antioxidants and resveratrol. It is a mineral sunscreen, and it has a slight tint to it. I really like this product. It's tinted because it is a mineral sunscreen. Mineral sunscreens often have a white cast, so you have to be really careful, especially with darker skin. It can sometimes be very noticeable and somewhat off-putting to have that white cast. So a lot of folks will use, a lot of companies that are doing mineral sunscreens will do something with a tint with them now to make them make that white cast not a problem. And that's what Paula's Choice does. However, I finished this up and I decided I wanted to try something that was a little less expensive and was also available at ULTA, and that is from Ulta Beauty. It is their Sun Protection Broad Spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen. This is also a mineral sunscreen, and it also has a tint. It has a deeper tint than the Paula's Choice. So I have not noticed that to be an issue with me, and I have pretty pale skin, so I haven't noticed that it's too dark, that it's really noticeable, but it definitely is noticeably darker than the Paula's Choice one. It also is a little more what I would call emollient, almost greasy feeling, as opposed to the Paula's Choice one. And it has a little bit more of an actual sunscreen smell to it, whereas I don't really notice much of a smell at all from the Paula's Choice one. So I think this is a nice alternative. It's less expensive and it's available at Ulta, but I don't think I'm going to repurchase this. I'm not even sure. I will check to make sure that this is still available, because it may not be. It may have just been something that was available during the summer, but I'm definitely going to repurchase the Paula's Choice one. I like the texture of it, the feeling of it. I like the skincare ingredients, and just the feel of it better. And so I think the Ulta one is a nice alternative if you don't want to buy from Paula's Choice, or if you don't want to pay the price. It is not a cheap skincare line. It's not super expensive, but it's definitely not like drugstore pricing. It's a little bit above drugstore. So if that's a bit much for you, this Ulta one might be a nice alternative, as long as it's still available. And I will see if it is, and of course I will put a link to that and all of the products that I have talked about today in the description box below. And that is the final step of my morning skincare routine. So if you watched that nighttime skincare routine, you'll notice that there are way fewer products in this routine than in the nighttime one, because I do not have the time, the inclination, or the patience to deal with a long skincare routine in the morning, especially when I was working a day job. I am not a morning person. I'm not going to get up at, before the butt crack of dawn, 2 hours early, just to do a freaking long skincare or makeup routine. That's just not going to happen. So I really like this routine. It has everything that I need in it. Everything that I use has a purpose. It's not there just to be fluffy. I mean, it is there for a reason. I'm using every product because they give some sort of benefit to my skin. So I like everything that I'm using. I am going to be making a few changes, and I will talk about that in some future videos. You'll notice in neither of those routines do I have a moisturizer, but I have a couple that I'm going to be trying. I have a few other products that I want to try and add to my skincare routine and see if they offer any benefits. Because I'm in middle age, my skin is changing, things are happening, and I'm wanting to treat some of that. And so I have a few products that I'm going to be adding and trying out, and I will let you know how those go. If you liked this video, I would love it if you would click that like button that is somewhere down there below. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. I love to do skincare videos, especially for skincare that is focused on us middle-aged folks who are dealing with a lot of changes in our skin. I'm also going to be posting some videos about goals and lifestyle type things, because I have a lot of changes that are happening in my life right now, and I think that might be helpful for those of you who are in a stage of life where maybe you thought things were going to be kind of settled, and they're not. That's kind of where, when I was in my 20s, I thought I was going to be in a different place at this point in my life, and I'm not. But that's okay, because I'm working on that, and I'm going to take you guys along on that journey, because one, it motivates me, but I'm hoping that it will also be helpful to somebody out there who needs it. So yes, thank you so much for being here. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe if all of that sounds interesting, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I've uploaded a new video. I'm going to be uploading more frequently. There is going to be a subscribe button over here. In addition to down below, there will be some more videos, maybe some playlists or something like that over here. And I would love it if you would leave some comments and let me know what your skincare routine looks like, or if you have any questions, or you have any comments on what I've done, or you want to share what you're using that works for you. I would love it if you would do that. Thanks so much for being here, guys. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.